Welcome to the court. I'm Miss Jester. Okay, Makoto. We can prove your innocence. No one even suspects you. Actually, they super suspect you. You were the only person here that didn't have an alibi. Like, everyone else was with each other. What we need to do is pin it on Hina, because when she left to get breakfast for everyone, they didn't know where she was. We need to convince everyone that during that limited sliver of time, Hina killed someone. As much as I love Hina and would hate to do her dirty like that, it's us or her. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Oh, Hiro, do you ship it too now? Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. Yeah, they do that sometimes. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you two to just go off together? Just the two of you? Oh, great. Now Togo's gonna kill Makoto in a jealous rage. Huh? What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen. Yeah, usually a talking bear shows up and traumatizes us by this point. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we just keep waiting here, or... Or what? You're late. You can't just tell us that the investigation's over and it's time for the class trial and then keep us waiting in the elevator.
What?
Jesus. Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? Byakuya, what are you gonna do? Talk to Monokuma's manager? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here. Now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
hey,
I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kyoko? Kyoko, you're still alive? No, that's a ghost! Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late? Byakuya, why are you trying to get Kyoko killed right now?
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish! So spoiled! You're right, there's no penalty, officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later.
Shing!
No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko!
Ah,
So you really didn't die?
indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God! I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Byakuya, chill the fuck out a little, my guy. Huh? He's right! Now we gotta deal with a ghost! I told you to stop talking!
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me! Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So,
Just now, I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go into a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were so late.
however,
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Just a second.
Hey! What are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma!
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being in the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the doors slid shut. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusty darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Oh god, this place looks so tacky. Seriously? This is what you set up the trial room to look like? Disgusting. Ah! I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Let's get on with the show. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Yes, I would like to save before everything goes to shit. Thank you very much. Oh, I can set my skills. Increases the time limit. Steadies your aim a little. I think those are the skills I'm good with.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
This is our 5th one. We know the rules by now.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
We die. Yes, you've been over this. Several times, in fact.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Imagine the timeline in which the first trial, Leon gets away with it. And then Monokuma is just like, I had all these motives planned. I had all this cool stuff I was gonna do to get everyone to murder each other. And this guy, with his name written on the wall, just got away with it. What the fuck do I do now?
Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Kyoko's right here.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
Yes. Thank you, Toko.
No, that's a ghost!
What the fuck, Hero? Kyoko, I know you shouldn't have to dignify this with a response, but I really think we need to talk about it.
But she has legs and stuff.
She has legs and stuff is the defense?
Well, that's just because
Not ghosts aren't real?
she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
What the fuck are you on about?
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
Oh my god, we're actually doing this.
Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Oh my god. It didn't have her boots.
Her traits?
Had bigger boobs than her boobs. Kyoko's gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
Why do you wear your glasses?
And would you happen to know the answer?
Why do you wear that stupid green tie around your neck?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Byakuya, this is bullying. You're being such a freak right now.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
No, she had cheap pink press-on nails.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Why would Kyoko's ghost show up and try to trick you at a class trial? She's dead. How would she benefit from it? There's no way that that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. Everyone just stop acknowledging Hero! Just tell him to shut the fuck up and go on without him! It's not like he contributes anything, bless his heart, I love him to bits, but he's not exactly a thinker! So I don't have a choice but to... Oh my god.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I'm agreeing with Byakuya. You know how much I hate
That
agreeing with
Kyoko there's just
Byakuya.
Okay, then prove
The dead body
they got burnt up.
Then she was wearing gloves before the...
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
You don't know reality! You're an idiot like that!
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
Why are we acknowledging this?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Oh god, Byakuya, stop being relatable.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
Hiro, you're gonna go to the shut the fuck up corner, okay? Be a good boy and don't talk.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
If Kyoko really... Then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so. And there wasn't any
Well, if we can't identify...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Toko, why are you at an 11? Why are you at an 11? Go back down to a 2 or 3.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
I thought we were cool. I thought we were friends, Hiro.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Toko, what is wrong with you?
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
I never, ever want to read any of Toko's romance novels.
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to the other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Oh, we're doing this. I have to help you spell wolf? I have to help you spell wolf?
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Bow, wow, wow.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
I don't know, maybe.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What? Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
We never knew that there was only one mastermind. I did point out that this was a very elaborate scheme for one person to do all on their own without anyone helping them.
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
So does Ultimate Murderous Fiend, but Jill's not in on this shit.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
Yeah, she was just part of a mercenary group that killed people. I guess, like, all the blood on her hands isn't very despair-inducing or anything.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Yeah, no despair there, just murder.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from...
I don't even know why they would give that girl the title of Ultimate Soldier. Like, she was part of she never served in any form of military. She was part of a mercenary group. Ultimate Killer for Hire is more like it.
Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Kyoko is never wrong.
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba?
People are multifaceted.
She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
If Mukuro was actually alive to this point, she wouldn't be just a regular participant because we had class trials without her. If she was on the same playing field as us, she would have been attending those. And let's not forget that just because someone is in the game and can be killed doesn't mean they're not working for Monokuma. Sakura was a traitor. She was working for Monokuma for a time, even though she was still trapped in here with us and attending class trials. So just because Mukuro got murdered doesn't mean she wasn't working for the mastermind in some way.
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
Was it? Was it really?
My information was not wrong.
Yeah, Kyoko's never wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
You stay out of this!
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Oh, wow, your family name. That's a lot.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
I mean, it's not special at this point. It's been happening a lot.
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
You know what? I like that. Let's go with Hero's way of thinking here.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Okay, but why would I believe you?
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Makoto, Kyoko, and Hina are the only ones without good alibis, because while Hina was with the group for the majority of the night, she did leave to go get breakfast on her own before meeting up with Makoto, and she could have done this during that time. So, it's one of those three. Maybe.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Well, Kyoko's really not looking good. She's been pretty MIA. Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Makoto and Kyoko.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name. Hey, remember back in the first trial when everyone thought you killed Sayaka? This is just like back then, right, Makoto? Ah, memories.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered? It was at 10 o'clock? No, it wasn't at 9 o'clock. It was at 10 o'clock because we went and stopped to talk to each other after we woke up.
Shoot!
Frick, what time was it? 11 o'clock? Was it 2 hours? What the fuck? We wake up at 9 though.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m. since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Why couldn't Toko just say that? Why did I have to answer? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Okay, I was wrong about the times.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay then, it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove that the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Oh, wrong.
Shoot!
We've established a time. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep. And
Yeah, from to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
we've established a time. It took
Place somewhere between 10 o'clock.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
Toko, you're the only one saying that. What the hell?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Toko, we just finished with Hero's Ghost bullshit. Do you have to have a meltdown right now?
Man, you're totally wacko.
Oh, shut up, Mr. Kyoko's a ghost.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why.
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Coco with certain evidence, and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Oh god, I have to do this now. Toko, this is the second time I fought you in one of these.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me?
No!
I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me?
Toko, no one is blaming
I
you.
admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! How can you...
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
What are you talking about?
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
Thank you.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Well, that's bad. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Okay, Kyoko, the others don't really care about that.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
Oh, wow.
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Why do you only listen to Byakuya?
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Oh, God.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Yeah, Makoto, she's throwing you under the bus.
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something. The scene was used to cover the body. We should keep this hidden. We should keep this hidden.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
Shouldn't it have, like, blood on it?
This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Makoto, we're going down. Why would Kyoko say that? Because either you're getting executed or she's getting executed, and she's decided to have it be you. Why would she want to make me look like the killer? Because she's throwing you under the bus, baby cakes. No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
Ah, Hifumi. My dead little hamster.
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
We're missing a chicken.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
You know, I feel worse about the death of that chicken than I do about the death of a human being. That's probably bad.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood?
Yeah, that's fucked up, isn't it?
Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Yes! Hina! Fist bump!
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around.
Then what did they do with the dead chicken? They had to dispose of that somehow.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No, it was laid on top of it.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Yeah, Makoto, that was a bad move on your part. This is why I always talk about the importance of the buddy system.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? Because it's you or her, and she's choosing her. I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
You know what? I actually am curious to see that happen.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what do we do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Makoto, you are looking so bad right now. Look, Kyoko's giving it her A game to pin this on you. You need to give it your A game to pin this on her, and you're just not.
Then why did you hide that fact?
Oh, Makoto!
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. Makoto, why don't you talk to other people about things? I thought maybe I really did kill her. God damn it, Makoto.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed.
Oh, Makoto.
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto.
It did.
Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Okay, good luck. If you're not prepared to throw Kyoko under the bus, I don't see how that's gonna happen. I'm gonna take a snack break. I'll be right back. back.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Someone self-promoed while I was taking my snack break? Someone took the time to self-promo to an audience of 2 viewers, one of which was them? That's not the guide to success, my guy.
The knife we found lodged in the dead.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before,
That seals it. Just because I had the knife, that automatically makes...
Well,
getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's
Oh,
no
I
question.
missed it. I thought I
You
had
took
more
that
time.
knife of yours and killed her.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, we got this. It's fine.
The knife we found.
It's the same one we...
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic...
well,
Getting stabbed is what killed her.
What?
Right?
Shoot!
Wait.
The
Oh,
knife
yeah.
we found
I
lodged
know what
in the
to do
dead
now.
body.
It's the same one.
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic...
well,
Getting stabbed is what...
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
There would have been a pool of blood, my guy. The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot. No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see.
Shoot!
Oh, I'm losing a lot of hearts. Oh, yeah.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
I don't trust it. Monokuma wrote it.
Then the knife.
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her.
Also, we have to bring up that the explosion was caused by the bomb that you guys took out of the Monokuma. And Makoto was with you when you took it out. He was with you after you took it out. And someone else must have snagged it from the gym while Makoto was with you guys.
It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Byakuya, mean.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
Hina, excellent point.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
Hero, please be quiet.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
No, Makoto, we gotta throw her under the bus if you want to live. What are you doing?
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? Then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh, which only leaves...
Then, shall we continue? The victim's
Okay, we
fatal...
gotta fast forward and
explosion
we gotta
didn't-
grab what
Well,
Hero
yeah.
said.
And it wasn't then.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet
To be determined, correct?
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
So she was just walking around alive with deep wounds in her chest for days? Okay.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
Probably a bunch of those sticks we found bundled together with duct tape that was covered in blood.
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
It was not the pickaxe.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Not if you hit it sideways.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
Yeah.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Toko, chill the fuck out.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
Toko? Toko? Please tell me this isn't a sex thing. Oh god, it's probably a sex thing.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
The real murder weapon.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
Oh my god, Toko, chill.
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Oh wait, I clicked the wrong thing! I had the wrong thing set up! I needed to be on duct tape!
Shoot!
No, I lost a heart!
The titanium arrow.
It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound.
Well, it said the weapon must... It seems like an arrow would just be...
There we go.
No, that's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
I met you in the dojo! I was there! We had a conversation in front of the cherry blossom tree!
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. don't we, Makoto?
Oh,
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer.
I think he does.
You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all, remember?
of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo?
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
You know, I feel like Byakuya's gotta be on cloud 9 right now, because he has been so jealous of how close Kyoko was to Makoto, like, for so long. And now he's like, fuck yes, Kyoko's framing him for murder, I'm gonna prove it, I'm gonna save the day, and then Makoto's totally gonna fall in love with me. That's what's going through Byakuya's mind right now. He's gonna get rid of his romantic rival, he's gonna get the guy, everything's gonna be great for him.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
Someone was trying to kill you in your sleep, my guy. She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean?
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the
Killer. You should understand that.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
There's proof that
You aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong.
Kyoko couldn't go in her room.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
You took her room key, remember, Byakuya?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. It was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Yeah, it's her or you! Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko, but what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What? The mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie? I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? Not Kyoko! She has literally used you as bait, like, several times. What am I supposed to do? Save your own skin. The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? Pursue the lie, let it go, run away. Okay, I guess we're dying so Kyoko can live, I guess. Let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. Oh, Kyoko totally didn't kill Mukuro. The mastermind's framing her. What is happening, though, is that while we're proving Kyoko's innocence, you are 100% gonna take the fall, Makoto. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
He did.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong.
Makoto decides to lie for Kyoko at the trial to cover for her, even though she looks guilty, and if she's not found guilty, he probably will be, because he's the only other person without an alibi. Makoto covers for Kyoko and ends up taking the fall. Makoto, surprised Pikachu face.
Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Oh yeah, the mastermind's setting it up to frame one of you. That's why we had someone... The mastermind wasn't the person that attacked Makoto in the room and took the knife, that wasn't the same person whose dead body we found. Because I distinctly remember that person who attacked Makoto, they didn't have pink press-on nails, and they didn't have the wolf tattoo. So, the one wearing the mask that attacked Makoto had to have been the actual mastermind. However, this is a rigged game, and we're gonna lose hard.
Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Don't you guys feel good about all that time we spent with Toko arguing with us about the sprinklers and Hiro arguing with us about Kyoko being a ghost?
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Just don't vote.
Voting time?
No one vote. No one vote. If none of us vote, we can totally unionize this death game. Oh, what am I gonna fucking spend those coins on?
Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What? Okay, this is going great for you, Makoto. You think I'm the killer? Well, Makoto, it was either you or Kyoko, and you were doing a very good job defending Kyoko. Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You guys are not sorry. If you were really sorry, you would not have voted for me. It's all your fault. Byakuya, I thought we had something. I thought you and Makoto really had something. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job?
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. Really, Makoto? Because, like, earlier this morning, you were worried you had killed someone in your sleep. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is kangaroo court.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense!
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's time for a heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Why do you never work as a team? Why do you just run off and go do things on your own without telling anyone where you're going or what you're doing? Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Oh, shit. Head class? Alter Ego, save the day! Alter Ego, if you save Makoto, I'll forgive you for everything! I'll even say I'm sorry about all those times I called you a whore! Oh, that's a fall. Makoto?
What?
Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, wasn't that... Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter Ego? Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid thing? They must have planted it when they invaded my network! Damn it all to hell! I don't believe this!
It would seem...
It would seem you finally made a miscalculation. Kyoko, do not act like this was all according to plan. You did not know that would happen. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. This stupid virus is gone now, okay? So is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit in a way that's even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are 2 things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing sleeping here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench was invading my nostrils was too powerful to be a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. Oh yeah, alter ego. I guess now's a good time. Alter ego, because you saved Makoto's life, and I have recently developed a fondness for him and taken him off of my shit list, I should thank you and forgive you for everything, just like I forgave the others. Alter ego, I'm sorry I called you a two-timing, backstabbing, catfishing, accessory to murdering little slut. I'm sorry I said all those very mean and very true things about you. Okay, we're good now. That's over with. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter ego saved me. And they used up the last bit of their strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. There's a door. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above! What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who she was.
It smells awful.
Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Phew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not! After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it here for today. And then tomorrow at 12, we will be continuing our adventure in Kyoko, hopefully helping Makoto escape from the trash room. I will save my game here. There we go. And until next time, show's over.